Any questions? I think I covered most of the stuff about the attempt. Yeah.
So the 240 motion flow, if the interpolation is off, it'll give 10 frames for a 24 frame per second.
So it's a 240 hertz panel. So even if the interpolation is off, it's still refreshing at 240 hertz.
But if you get a 24 frame per second signal, it'll times it by 10.
Yes.
It doesn't do anything to it.
Correct.
24 times 10. Okay.
Yeah, and so I forget. You know which setting that was, Pablo? I think it's in one of the cinema modes, right? So
we turn off the interpolation.
We turn off the interpolation.
Yeah, it's in the picture settings. There's a different setting for motion flow. You can turn it off.
There's a couple different combinations.
And on the 909, how many zones for the local dimming?
We don't say.
Don't say.
Don't say.
Not important. Take the back off.
The reason why Sony, we really want people to concentrate what's on the screen, not what about the numbers are. It's more than some, it's less than others, but we feel it still works the best. And that's exactly what we want you guys and the consumer to see when you look at the TV. Judge it for what's on the screen than worrying about numbers. Kind of goes down to the whole contrast thing.
I was going to say.
Exactly. So just to touch base on that, so what we did this year, our contrast ratio, our dynamic range, contrast number changed. Does anyone know what it is? So we officially went with infinite, and there's a reason for it. Yes, exactly. We got tired of the numbers as well, and so there's no way, there's no equipment out there. I think Kevin can attest. That can count to 7 million to 1, 3 million to 1, even 1 million to 1. There's nothing out there that can do that. So instead of playing this game, and I'm on the marketing side, it was a decision to, if we say our TV is 5 million to 6 million to 1, there'll always be someone.
Somebody's going to say 8, somebody's going to say 10.
I saw one out of Japan that said it was going to be 11 million to 1. That's
crazy.
So we went with infinite, not to be smart asses and go, well, my number's bigger than yours, but really saying, as Joe touched on, it just can't be right.
It's meaningless.
It's meaningless. So it's a way of us saying, it's LED, so on a full black screen they can shut off and you just need to manipulate it. So look on the screen, look what's there, judge the black level for what you see with your eyes on the screen. And as far as trying to quote a number, we decided this past year we're just going to stop doing that until there's a set standard.
Good for you. I applaud that. I think that's great.
We had a decision around January, February before the launch, and we were like, we're done with this.
That's a great move.
So that's So if anyone asks you, this is infinite, but infinite meaning unmeasurable. It's such a key criteria when customers go shopping. And again, we're all very knowledgeable about this, but one time it's the average customer, and they walk into a big box store and see 100 TVs. They look at, they go right to the fact tags, and they buy solely on the numbers on the fact tag. And so that's why we're very careful about what numbers we want to do, because we don't want to, there always will be a bigger number, but the numbers don't say everything. So us saying infinite makes them have to ask some questions and hopefully look at the TV and go, well, it's great to me. Yeah, exactly. So.
We have a couple of cyberspace questions I thought were pretty interesting. One is, I like the detachable 3D emitter. I think it's better than being integrated because you can actually place it where it's going to perform best. And you might have furniture around it, low turn or something. Nice to move to the top or the bottom or wherever you need to use it. That will perform best in your room and your environment. But one of the users was hoping that you would integrate that into the television. I wanted to see if you don't mind addressing a future models instead of having a two-piece solution.
Yeah, we currently have 4 models, 4 3D models on the market. One of them is already integrated, the other ones are ready. For next year, there's going to be a lot more of them integrated.
Yeah. The other question, which I think we know,
but we'll still keep up the emitter count, so that way you get a full, robust signal.
Yeah, it works well the way it is. We enjoy it here. They're asking if it's a real 240 hertz or if it's just blinking on 120.
No,
we know it's a full and a real 240.
It's a full 240 hertz panel.
Yeah.
And,
in fact, you blink that to an emulate 480.
You can, you could, but we don't hate. We keep playing with the numbers.
Shut that off.
It's not a real number.
So it's a real 240 hertz panel.
Correct.
Some other questions I'm sure are fine. Is there a limit to the amount of glasses in the room when you have 50 people? There's no limit to the amount of glasses.
No, there's no limit.
Just got to sync to the TV.
The maximum we've had at just certain shows is, I think, one we had about 26. And
we had 20-something last night ourselves right here. Without even the right
For me, my personal opinion, what's really going to progress is going to be content on your TV. With the day that you can just go ahead and get 3D content from your cable and satellite provider, and you can watch football and you can watch your favorite TV show in 3D, or that I think is going to be really where it's going to push it. I think for the younger generation, certain key games, when Killzone comes out, when the new Grand Theft Auto comes out, they're in 3D. I think you're going to see a huge spike in sales of the gamers out there going, you know what, I'm ready to step up.
Another thing I would recommend for all manufacturers is when you're creating these glasses, your actual filter that you put in your glasses also affects picture quality. Can there be some standards in regards to what color that filter is? You know, everything when it comes to picture quality in these displays, if your glasses has a red tint on it, Panasonic has a yellow, whoever has those glasses is going to see that same image in a different format. Can there be standards?
A lot of questions coming in, a lot of good.
Well,
I mean,
with standards on that, I mean, it's definitely something that we would all love, and I am a fan of this. I've been a geek for a long time, but the reality is you're asking for every manufacturer out there to work hand in hand before the launch of a product, and it sounds nice.
It's not going to happen.
But I can tell you,
it's not going to happen. But
it's a lot harder
hand in hand to sell 3D displays.
One of the things that we've done to kind of help with the idea of picture performance, and I've noticed that when you put the glasses on with some manufacturers, the image obviously darkens up.
Right, exactly.
So we've done something called LED boost. So actually, in 3D mode, the LEDs actually will increase their brightness a bit to compensate for the loss of the glasses, so that way the perception is the image is untouched.
Okay.
So that's something.
A ton of activity online. I'm going to try to move along very quickly, make the answers brief as well as the questions, so we can get more of these great questions on. Go ahead, please.
I wonder if 3D is somehow overtaking any as an easier marketing tool and a way to expand the market, and feeling that picture quality, image quality on screen is good enough now, and that's your methodology to increase share, to sell more screens, and that what some of the people sitting here are looking here
for 3D, I mean, it's just a matter of not being standard. New technology is there as it was being developed. I mean, we want to definitely, we can't be at Sony behind with the technology, but I can tell you honestly, and Paulo can attest, at Sony, everything is about the picture. Everything for us is picture quality first. It's always our main goal. So we would never put anything out that we don't feel is not honoring that. That's just from Japan on down for years and years of just heritage at Sony. Our picture performance is first and foremost. Technology-wise, this was the year that it came out. Everyone's got the hardware and the television's ready to go. Software has not picked up. You know what? The other thing too, understand, 3D is a brand new. It's been around since the actual 30s, but good 3D is hard to do. Anybody can pick up a camera and shoot 3D. Being able to shoot 3D correctly, we did as well. We've done all the sporting events. I can tell you that we were at the Masters, and the 3D day one versus on the last day was a night and day difference. The guys there, and these are pros that have been in the broadcast world and sports for decades, they were learning on the fly on how to shoot, where to position the camera, and so all those things come into effect. And you talk about also the 2D to 3D conversion. Everyone talks about Clash of the Titans, how bad it was, because it was done rushed, and I saw Piranha in the theaters, and it was a funny movie, but the 3D was horrendous on it. They couldn't afford. They actually approached us at Sony ImageWorks. They couldn't afford it, and they went with the cheaper house. So there's a lot of other factors than just everyone decided just to hurry up and rush with 3D. I think James Cameron was one of the best. He waited till the technology was right. He worked with us on the cameras, but he shot it in such a way so that he can deliver a good presentation. So once the guys behind the cameras, the directors, understand how to use this stuff, I think you'll start to see that kind of take place as well.
I love that point, and I bring that up all the time. You got to get the cinematographers very well trained. Bad 3D is real bad. And you really need great 3D.
And that was why we did
even for it to be good. And it's in the hands.
And that's
why
we did the 3D technology.
I love that. I'm going to fly up there for that.
It's open for anyone.
I want to move along very quickly because there's so many great questions here, and we have such a big agenda. Last night ran 4.5 hours, and it wasn't even moving slowly. But there's a lot of great questions. Real quickly, somebody said, "Hey, is my audio receiver screwing up because it's processing and doing things?" One of the things that we tested when we ran all our equipment is we put signal generators on everything. If we added any equipment, to see what effect equipment in the circuits we would have. It can, it does, it could, it might. it might not. So I'm going to answer that. They asked me to ask Kevin and Ed and Dwayne. Sometimes it does.
Well, the answer is definitely you have to check it.
Yeah.
By running generated signals through it.
That's right. And that's what we did here, of course. But they want to know about their home stuff, and we're going to try to stick to the subject. Just want to answer yes. Anything in the circuit could cause us trouble.
Could.
A lot of great questions here. I think we're going to probably cut them down anyway. But there's universal glasses coming. I'll hand that back without reading anymore. A lot of activity online. A lot of great questions. I'm trying to limit this quite a bit. Okay. I thought that was a fantastic presentation. So I really appreciate it.